Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Maddie Jansen. The lake fire continues to rage out of control just to our south. It's being called the Lake Fire, and in a matter of hours, it erupted to more than 10,000 acres. Lake Hughes is about 74 miles south of Bakersfield, east of Interstate 5 near Gorman. The lake fire started around 3:30 yesterday afternoon, and it has not let up since then. To give some perspective on just how rapidly this fire is spreading, as of 5 yesterday, it was 400 acres. Less than 30 minutes later, it exploded in size to over 6,000 acres. Around 11 last night, it had grown to 10,000 acres and was threatening at least 100 homes. But as of this morning, it's grown to 10,500 acres. To give you an idea of how big that is, the entire city of Tehachapi clocks in at under 7,000 acres. It's still 0% contained today. More than 5,000 structures are now threatened. Mandatory evacuations are in place for the communities of Lake Hughes and Pine Canyon. More than 1,000 personnel are on scene working to get control of the blaze. Fire officials say it was a tremendous firefight overnight trying to protect lives and property. 3 structures have been destroyed. One bright spot, a little rain, some cloud cover and humidity in the area this morning helped firefighters. But as Kevin will tell you, those thunderstorms we are expecting can be a double-edged sword. Kern County Fire Department has sent a strike team to help fight the lake fire. The team consists of 15 firefighters and 2 battalion chiefs. 5 fire engines have also deployed to help in the fight as well. Now to the pandemic here in Kern County. 320 new cases were announced this morning in Kern of coronavirus, bringing the total to 25,509 cases so far since March. 4 more people have died from coronavirus in Kern. Our death toll now stands at 187. More than 17,000 of those who are infected are recovering at home. 250 are being treated in the hospital. If you've tested positive for coronavirus, local health officials are asking for your help. They want you to check in on your case. It will also allow our health department to notify anyone who may have been exposed to the virus. With a delay in the health department receiving test results from the state, they're hoping this will help with the crisis. If you have the virus, just head to our website, KGET.com, and click on the hot link icon to fill out the form. Kern County Public Health officials and county officials talked about that state testing backlog revealed last week. They said the state has notified them the backlog should be cleared up. Next Tuesday, the Board of Supervisors will be considering a plan to help county employees who have children by allowing them to work at home or providing them with reimbursement for child care. The county has around 8,000 employees. That's the largest employer in Kern.
I would say finally that businesses in our community who have employees, it's very important for you, not that you aren't doing it or not that you're not thinking about it, but it's very important for you to think about how your employees are going to operate through what we believe is going to be a very difficult environment related to their kids being home and distance learning. So I would call on all employers in the county to put great thought into providing flexibilities that your employees may need.
We'll have much more from the county news conference coming up tonight on 17 News at 5. Meantime, more than 60% of parents with school-aged kids say remote learning will negatively impact their finances. Nearly a quarter believe their career opportunities will be limited, and 22% say they'll have to cut back work hours. 15% say they may have to stop working entirely. Speaking of education, the Bakersfield City Council approved the allocation of more than $33 million in funding from the CARES Act. The money is allocated by the state and covers coronavirus aid, relief, and economic security. Among the expenditures approved yesterday, $10 million for a small business grant program. The program would give small businesses forgivable loans to help with payroll and operating costs. Also approved $5 million for a rental assistance program in partnership with the Kern Housing Authority. That money would help tenants who are unable to pay rent due to the pandemic and help property owners who are also impacted. The council also approved $2 million for updates to the Brundage Lane Navigation Center. That money will be spent redesigning it to make it compliant with COVID-19 guidelines. Some of the changes will include bed spacing, meal prep areas, common areas, and the air filtration system. It's also being done to help stop the spread of COVID-19 and keep the homeless who go there safe. The coroner's office has identified the man shot and killed this weekend at a motel on Union Avenue. Police say Christopher Davis was found in the road with gunshot wounds outside the Ram Kabir Motel just after midnight Sunday morning. Witnesses told police they saw a dark-colored minivan leave the area at a high rate of speed following the shooting. So far, no arrests have been made. If you have any information, call BPD at 327-7111. Another man shot and killed this weekend has been identified. Police say 27-year-old Luis Arellanes was shot and killed late Saturday at the corner of 2nd and I Streets. He died shortly before midnight. So far, no arrests have been made. If you have any information, call police. And we now know the name of a man killed in a crash on Highway 178. The California Highway Patrol says 63-year-old Mark Whitgraff died around 8:30 Tuesday morning after crashing west of Beale Avenue. CHP says he veered off the highway and slammed into the cement wall. Drugs and alcohol do not appear to be the cause of the crash. Education news. The Bakersfield City School District is pushing back its start date for students. The first day was set for Monday, August 17th, but the district says a majority of its 30,000 students won't have access to the internet after a delay in the delivery of hotspots. The district held an emergency meeting where trustees decided to postpone the start date 1 week. They'll now begin on August 24th. KGET and Dignity Health are working with the Bakersfield Homeless Center to get kids the supplies they need for the upcoming school year with our annual backpack drive. This time around, KGET is not accepting donations here at the station. Instead, we're asking everyone to bring the supplies to the Bakersfield Homeless Center. Even though lessons are online, kids still need traditional supplies. That includes backpacks, notebooks, pencils, markers, clothing, and more. You can drop off donations or donate money online. For more information, visit kget.com. And a local church is getting into the giving spirit this back-to-school season. This weekend, Victory Outreach Church in Southwest Bakersfield is holding a drive-through backpack giveaway. It's Saturday at 10 a.m. at the church on New Horizon Boulevard. All right, welcome back. Checking out that forecast. A weird start out there with some clouds and raindrops. What are we looking at now, Kev?
It is definitely hot, it is humid, and we still have the chance of thunderstorms in the forecast throughout the afternoon. And we've got a temperature right now still a little bit on the warm side with 94 in Bakersfield, 88 in Delano, 84 in Buttonwillow, and then into the mountains, 70s, 80s, and then out in Mojave, 91 at this time. Thunderstorm forecast remainder of the day, 20 to 30% chance extending now in all of the valley locations from Fresno into the Bakersfield area. So that's why we have put that chance of thunderstorm activity in there. What's driving it? Well, you remember Alita, we talked about that storm. It has fallen apart. It's no longer a tropical storm or hurricane. It's post-tropical, but it is still driving some of its moisture into Southern California. And what's helping to steer that is that strong ridge that's off to the east of us, and that's the other part of our forecast. The heat, excessive heat warning in place until 9 p.m. on Monday, and then also out in the desert. So I can't remind you enough, if you have to work out in these extreme temperatures, avoid direct sunlight, take frequent breaks. Make sure you're staying hydrated. Drink those liquids that contain the electrolytes. Limit any strenuous outdoor activities as much as you possibly can. Now, air quality today, not the best. Unhealthy for sensitive groups. AQI at 115. Our UV index still high at 10.4. And here's what we can expect. 30% chance of those storms. Again, they'll be isolated. Shouldn't be widespread. We're looking at 100 in Bakersfield along with Delano. 101 in McFarland. 98 in Taft. And then for the mountains and the Kern Valley, a chance of thunderstorms this afternoon as well. Northwest wind 10 to 15, 84 in Frazier Park, 87 in Tehachapi, and 90s into the Kern River Valley, 93 today at Lake Isabella. And then for the desert, chance of thunderstorms this afternoon as well, 96 in Mojave, Ridgecrest at 99. Here's that extended forecast. Tomorrow we should be looking sunny, 106. Saturday, 108. And that is our high so far this season. That was set back in June. And then we'll see a slight cool down by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but still very hot, right near 105, 106, and a little bit of cloud cover. So humidity values will probably still stay up. Mountain forecast, 95 as we round out the work week. And those mid-90s are holding on all the way through the mid part of next week. One thing to note here, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, a little bit on the breezy side. And then for the Kern River Valley, tomorrow, 102. We peak on Saturday at 105. But those triple digits will remain in place all the way through the mid part of next week, and overnight temperatures will be warm as well. But again, if you are going to be out and about throughout this afternoon, you can expect those humidity values to be up. And while we're seeing some sunshine right now, sometimes that helps to kind of unstable the atmosphere, and that's why the thunderstorms will remain in the forecast as we go throughout the afternoon and evening. I'm going to have much more on this part of the forecast and the heat we're expecting. That's all coming your way tonight on 17 News at 5 and 6, and I'll be back, Maddie, in the studio by then. We'll send it back over to you.
We're back in your 17 Business Watch, and we're learning that for the first time in months, the number of people who filed for first-time jobless claims this last week is below 1 million. Numbers out today show that 963 workers sought U.S. jobless aid last week. This is the first time the number's been lower than 1 million in 5 months, but just for perspective, it is still higher than it ever was during the 2008 recession. Welcome back in your 17 Health Watch. The American Academy of Pediatrics is providing guidance on how to take care of kids during coronavirus, including the use of face coverings. Experts advise cloth face masks can safely be worn by all children who are at least 2 years old. They say that includes the vast majority of kids with underlying health conditions, with rare exception. They say plans for the safe return of children to school, childcare, or similar settings must include the use of cloth face coverings. They also suggest having kids wear the masks at home so they get used to it, and if there are other people in the house who are considered to be higher risk.